If you enjoy truthful and heartfelt conversations to inspire you to become a better version of yourself, Empowering Stories will help you.
Hello, Tola. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Anna. How are you?
I'm delighted to have you here. And I love your energy, Tola. You are such a woman of action that is just amazing.
Thank you.
According to LinkedIn, Tola Onigbanjo, did I say it right?
Yes, you did. You did.
Fantastic. Is the CEO and founder of Women for Africa, and she's going to tell us about that. Also, the Solid Women and the Listeners One-on-One. However, if there's something I would like to stress about this beautiful woman with us today, is that we became in contact. Half an hour later, we had exchanged emails. 10 minutes later, this interview was scheduled. And then at some point she said, sorry for keeping you long answering the email. It was like 30 minutes in, which tells me this is a woman of action now. She doesn't beat around the bushes. She takes action now, fast, fast, fast. And that's how things get done. Tola, our microphone is yours. Please tell us something to empower and inspire our listeners.
Well, one thing about me, Anna, is, like any woman that I come into contact with, she cannot tell me that I can't do this, or I do not know how to do this, or I could never do that. I believe every woman has what it takes and can do what she aspires to do. And the reason why I say that is because I have had so many dreams, so many visions, and I set out to accomplish each and every one of them. I never told myself that I won't be able to do it. I told myself, if I don't know how to do it, I'm going to figure out how to do it. I'm going to find someone that knows how to do it and can help me to do it. So when I meet a woman and she says, oh, I really want to do this, but I don't know how, I don't know, I start giving her tools, right? Why don't you do this? Why don't you find out this? Why don't you start here? Or why don't you speak to this person? Because everyone that is doing something, no matter who it is, whether it's Bill Gates, whether it's Michelle Obama, whether it's Oprah Winfrey, they learned how to do what they're doing. They weren't born knowing how to do that. They learned how to do that. And they learned by either watching, observing, shadowing, reading, whatever it takes. And one thing I like about here and now that we didn't have when I was going to school is the internet. Everything you want to know how to do is on the internet. When I wrote my first book, I Googled and I searched whether I should, whether I should obviously just do it myself and how to go about it. And I figured out everything from the internet, how to get my ISBN number for my book, and how to market my book and everything. It was, all the information was there. And when I didn't understand, I would pick up the phone, I would phone and I would ask. And there's always someone on the other end of the line that's very helpful, willing to give out information. So I'm one of those women that you can't be around me if you don't want to be geared up, because I'm so into gearing women up. You cannot be around me and tell me I don't know how to or I can't. We're going to make it happen. And I'm going to show you that you can actually do it. And that's why I'm the founder of Women for Africa, the founder of The Solid Woman, and also the Listeners 101, which is for young people. I just do it. I'm just one of those people that, you know what, I'm going to do this. When I say I'm going to do something, I just get up and do it. And my friends, they know me for that. They know me for that. So they phone me and they say, right, I want to write a book or I want to do this. And the reason why I'm telling you, because I know that you're going to hold me accountable and you're going to be messaging me every minute saying, where's that book? Have you started doing this? Have you written your bio? Have you done this? And they know me for that because that's what I do.
Wow, that's so empowering. We can feel the strength and knowing that there's somebody on the other side holding us accountable and leading. Oh my God, you are a leader. But if we want to be led, at least there's somebody there saying, you can, move on, move your ass. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So it can all be done. Would you like to tell us something about these projects that you're in? I know overall about the Listeners 101, which really touched my heart because it's about teenagers.
Yes.
Well, they are very close and dear to me. So tell us, please.
But the Listeners 101, it came about because so much is going on with young people these days, and it's not just in the UK, around the world. But in the UK, one thing that I used to find is that there was always that complaint of the government needs to do something. The government needs to do something for our young people. They need to do this. They need to put this in place. And it was a complaint that was constant, and it was going on for so long. And as I saw that things were escalating with young people in regards to knife crime, young people in debt, young people self-harming, I just thought to myself, why are we sitting down saying the government needs to do something? Why don't we do something? If everyone that feels that way starts doing something, we will start to affect some sort of change in our young people. And I have my daughter, she's a teenager. I listen to her. I listen to her friends. Her friends are kind of like, oh, your mum is so cool. Can we talk to your mum, kind of thing? So I listen to them when they talk. And I just found that sometimes young people, they just want somebody to listen to them.
Yeah.
They might not want advice. They might not want you to counsel them. They just want somebody to listen to them.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, you know what? If I can start this, at least some young people will be able to benefit from it. So it started off as a helpline. And one thing about me, I don't want to start something that I'm passionate about and then I can't continue with it. So if it's going to be started and it needs to be funded, and then funding runs out, it's going to come to a halt. So I didn't want to do something like that. So I looked at how I was going to do it. And I have like a couple of mobile phones, my own ones for different things. I decided, right, it's going to be a helpline. And a lot of young people, they're on mobiles anyway. So I'm going to donate one of my mobile phones because I pay my mobile phone bill anyway. So the only way that it's going to not be in action is if I decide to cut my mobile phone off, which I won't. So it's not dependent on anybody else but myself. So I can keep that running. I dedicated my mobile phone. We set up the social media pages, the Instagram, the Facebook, and we have the website. Now we found that majority of the young people prefer to message us via text message. So they were messaging on our Instagram DM, so we would pick up and have the conversation there. So we found that they prefer to message rather than phone. So I decided, okay, if that's what they like doing, let's develop an app, because not all young people are on social media. Some are not on Instagram, some are not on Facebook. Let's develop an app that they can download the app to their phone and they can just message. So it works kind of like WhatsApp, but it's for the listeners 101. So I spoke to some app developers, got the app developed. I set up a GoFundMe, and we raised some of the funds, and then the rest I put in myself. Didn't get the full amount, but the rest I put in myself because I knew there were friends that would probably want to help. Initially, I was going to actually fund it myself. My son said to me, Mum, you might have people that want to help and support. So why don't you set up GoFundMe? I said, okay. Set up GoFundMe, and then some friends, obviously, that have supported over the time decided to donate. And then the rest I put in, and I got the app developed. We launched the app last year, October. So the app is up and running. We have listeners download the app and they talk about absolutely any and everything. So we have from those that are feeling suicidal, those that have been crying all day and not feeling, to those that want to know about universities that are providing certain courses. Now somebody might turn around and say, oh, but if they want to know what university is doing what, why can't they ask their parents? But it just lets you know that some young people don't have that relationship with their parents. Some young people don't feel that they can ask their parents that. That's why they've downloaded an app and they're asking a listener. And we will do the research. We'll find out the universities and we'll give them that information. We don't mind doing that. Now, the way the Listeners 101 works is I have a team of listeners. They're made up of parents, therapists, teachers, anyone that's passionate about young people. And what we do is we are able to talk to a listener. So if I'm talking to a listener now and I'm on duty, and then I have to come and do an interview with you, Anna, I can get one of my other listeners to continue that conversation. So that young person does not have to go for an hour without me and wait till I'm there. So all of us have access to all the conversations. So if I need to pop out, one of my colleagues will pick up the conversation and continue that conversation with a young person until that young person feels that they are okay and, thank us for listening, and then we can go. But So it's always continuous. So if one thing we do find is that they log on late at night. That's when they prefer to talk, very late at night when we want to be sleeping. So we take it in turns. You know, if I'm tired and I now have to, I'll message one of the others who can pick up this conversation, or there's somebody on the line, you know, and that. So we're constantly engaged in the young person so that they don't have to feel that there's no support or there's no one on the other end. That's why the Listeners 101 was created. And, you know, I'd have to say that, you know, I'm happy that I decided to take action. I didn't sit down and wait for the government. I decided to take action. And, you know, from the feedback that we are getting from young people, it makes me know that it is very, very worthwhile, very worthwhile. One of my goals and missions for it is to have at least by the end of 2021, this year, to have at least 10,000 young people on the app.
Wow.
So my thing is, obviously, so our thing is creating awareness. So I'm actually speaking to people that can obviously create an advert or a little like documentary type thing about the app, so that we can use it to push out so that young people know that the app is available for them and create more awareness. I mean, the app was launched during lockdown, so we haven't been able to campaign as much as we want to. And then obviously we have to raise funds to obviously put into marketing and things like that. But that's the aim for 2021. And we are spreading the word, and we're getting young people as well to help to spread the word. So that's what the Listeners 101 is doing at the moment.
Well, I absolutely love it. And who doesn't know about the value of being listened to and acknowledged and accepted without having somebody pointing their fingers at you and you should, you must, you have to.
Yeah.
It makes such a big difference in people growing up when they have that kind of support. Plus, I'm thinking that in the future, Tola, I'm sure that many of these teenagers that you're helping now will be part of the community, talking to other teenagers. And
yes, absolutely.
this ripple effect, I'm sure. Yeah, underneath this video, we're going to put all the links and everything so people can donate and ask, maybe they want to help, if that's okay. Are you taking people in to be listeners as well?
Yes, we are. We have a training process that we take them through the training, and then obviously they can now sign up to become a listener. So as it grows, then we add people.
Oh, wow. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Do you think you can surprise us even more with another project of yours? Because this one, Listeners 101, is just amazing. I could feel all that love pouring from out of you, taking action, hard action, and making shit happen.
Yes, absolutely.
And I love it because that's going to make such a big difference. I can feel it already.
Thank
People
you.
who are acknowledged, they can connect with who they are, because otherwise we are all fighting, trying to figure out who are we, because I was negated as a person. Who the hell am I? If there's somebody there listening and saying it's okay the way you are, it doesn't matter how you are, it's perfectly okay, and you're beautiful as you are, now you can build from there.
Yes,
you're worth being listened to.
absolutely.
There, and then a whole generation of geniuses can be born from there. So thank you, sister, for creating
thank you so much for that. Women for Africa was birthed from a passion of, I used to be a hairdresser. I was a hairdresser from a teenager. And, you know, I grew up with my dad, me and my siblings. My dad couldn't do our hair. So it was a case of either I learned to do my hair myself or I go to school bald, because all my dad knew how to do was shave our hair. After going to school bald for a few times and being teased, I decided I need to learn how to do my hair, because I don't want my hair cut anymore. And my dad doesn't cut our hair long. He actually shaves it right off. So I was like, no, I need to learn how to do hair. So I learned how to do hair. And then my friends liked the way I did my hair, so they wanted their hair done. Then my friends' mums wanted their hair done, and they started paying me. So it just became something that I did. So even when I left school, I mean, I went to work in the bank and things like that, but I was still doing hair on the side. But I just found that hair gave me that flexibility that I wanted. You know, I could book clients, and if I didn't want to book clients, I didn't have to. And I always grew up saying that I want to work for myself. I want to be my own boss. doing hair gave me that. I registered myself self-employed in my 20s, and I just started doing hair full time for clients. I was doing it from home. So doing hair one-on-one with, a client, we just get talking. So I get to know a bit more about them. They get to know a bit more about me. And I would have women come and they would share stories, and it would either be stories that would be wow, or stories that you'd think, oh my God, how can I even help this person? And I was hearing such amazing stories that I was inspired. And I said to myself, if this story is inspiring me, it can inspire other women. And I knew I just wanted to do something more, because it's about celebrating the ordinary woman who's doing extraordinary things. And I always say to people when we start the awards, just before the awards begins, I always get on stage and I say to women, how many of you here know Michelle Obama? How many of you here know Oprah Winfrey? How many of you here know Hillary Clinton? 99% of the room will raise their hands because they know them. So then I will turn around and say, right, how many of you here know Anna Rodriguez? Now it will be you and the people that came with you. So that's about 10, 15 people that will raise their hands. Then I turn around and say, right, by the end of this evening, everyone in this room will know who Anna Rodriguez is as well. And that's really what it's about, knowing about ordinary women who are doing extraordinary things. And one of the categories that is so passionate for me is the outstanding mother of the year. I'm so big on parenting. So outstanding mother of the year is one of my favorite categories in all of the categories that we award that year. And you just hear some amazing stories when the women get up on stage, receive their award, and start to share with the audience. The room erupts. You get standing ovations and all sorts, because people are just blown away and wowed. And that's really what Women for Africa is about. Ordinary women who are doing extraordinary things, so that the next woman sitting in the audience or the next young girl hears that story and is inspired and also wants to achieve as well.
That sounds so familiar. Because that's the point of Empowered Supernova, is ordinary women sharing their empowering stories to inspire other women, so they can say, if she did it, I can do it too. It's exactly the same. And it's just magic how, Tola, I'm experiencing this, that every time, every day of every week, I get to connect, and I get connected to women who are in the same path. I think that some energy above us, a big intelligence, is putting us together. We were working in separate places, and now that intelligence is putting us together so we can amplify our voices. Is that your experience?
Absolutely. And I love what you're doing. I absolutely love what you're doing, because it's the ordinary women and their stories that people are going to be able to connect with. That the younger generation coming up are going to be able to connect with, because it's just an ordinary woman, but she has this amazing story, or she's doing this amazing thing. So they're able to connect with them, and, I love it, because, they're not so out of reach. Because if you're going to talk about, the Oprah Winfreys of this world, when would we ever connect with them? When would we ever meet them? When would we even be able to even ask them, even if it's just one question? They're so far gone in what they're doing, which is a good thing. But young people, or a woman feeling uninspired and things like that, wants to be able to connect with such a person, at the end. And if she can connect with an ordinary woman who's doing something amazing, extraordinary, she's going to feel like, I can do it too, because it's like, I have that connection. And that woman I saw that woman on that stage, and I was able to ask her that question and that kind of thing. So it's, they feel encouraged, they feel inspired. So I love it that it's just ordinary women, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I suppose that we need the Oprah Winfreys of this world to break the ice.
Yes.
But now, before that breaking the ice of one person or two people, now there's a legion of us breaking more ice and making more space for more people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow. I love it. It's so exciting. It's so exciting. Now tell us about the Solid Woman.
The Solid Woman that was actually created because Women for Africa is just once a year. The awards is just once a year. And the women from that would be so pumped up from that event. They'd start messaging, what's the next event, what's coming up next, do we have to wait a whole year before Women for Africa again, what's coming up? So, you know, I sat down with my husband and I said, oh, what are we going to do? Because people want something else. They don't want to wait a whole year for the next awards. You know, they want something else in between. And I just came up with the name, The Solid Woman, because I just felt that every woman needs to know that she is a solid woman. A solid woman is able to inspire, encourage, educate, motivate somebody else, whether it's your children, your spouse, another woman, and we all have it in us. We all have what it takes. Sometimes we downplay ourselves and think, oh, you know, you're doing all these amazing things. Oh, I wish I was you. No, wish you was yourself. Just say something encouraging, say something inspiring. There's something that you know that I don't know. So the moment you tell me, I now know something else. So you've educated me or you've inspired me, Anna. And that's what I believe solid women are. That's what we are. We can educate, we can inspire, we can encourage another person. And so the Solid Woman started as an event that we do every Women's Month. And, you know, I just make it an event that's very interactive. So even though it's a conference and we have speakers, we have it interactive. So, you know, we have games that we play at the conference, you know, games that just put women on the spot, but it lets them feel like, oh my God, I did it. You know, so we randomly pick like 7 women in the audience and we say, right, these 7 women come forward, right? You're going to pitch, whether it's your business, yourself, something you want us to know, and you have 60 seconds to pitch. And then we have judges in the audience as well that will now give them feedback and pick a winner, but they all get prizes. That's the thing, you know. But one thing that it does, it makes them really think to themselves, oh my God, I did that. I did that. And then, you know, so they're unprepared. They don't know they're going to be called out, but they go and they give it their all. And that for them is really encouraging. It's really inspiring because they just follow on from the next woman, right? If she can do it in 60 seconds, so can I. And they just tell, and we now learn something new about them that they want us to know that we might not know before. They pitch in 60 seconds, but they all love it. They find it so inspiring, so encouraging, and you know, it just gives them that extra boost. So we do that, and we do a combination of other stuff throughout the conference just to break up the conference, so it's not just having speaker after speaker after speaker. You know, we have little things in between that we do, so we make it like that so that everyone is encouraged, everyone is inspired, you know. And that's kind of like what the Solid Woman is. So we pick a theme for the conference, you know, and I look at, you know, okay, what are a lot of women, you know, basically looking to get more information about, you know. So the last one we did was about visibility, because women have stuff that they're doing, whether it's businesses or projects, but they just don't know how to get it out there, how to put it. So the last conference we had was based on visibility, how to be more visible. So the speakers I got obviously would talk and give tips, share tips around that, you know, and then they'll learn, be encouraged and things like that. So that's what the Solid Woman really is about.
Wow, it's such a feminine approach to a conference, isn't it? Yeah,
Yes.
it's more like we all count here. That's how
Yeah.
I'm feeling it from this side anyway. Tola, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can see it as we are all one here. It's not about
Yes.
the super speaker up there on the stage who's got everything and ticks all the boxes and has gained all the awards and all the money and
Yes.
everything. Is we all count. We are
Yes,
all
absolutely.
important. We can all do it. We are all the same. It's looking at the other at the soul level, like we are the same. What we have got, what we can do is just part of the whole thing. But what matters here is the soul to soul connection. Does it make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Beautiful. And in that sense, you're saying, how about visibility? Because people don't know how to give visibility to their projects, no people, women in particular. What is the relationship, in your opinion, there of visibility and I am good enough, I deserve it? Or these challenges that we are encountering when sharing our projects and our businesses, how much are we with our foot on the accelerator and on the brake?
Well, I always tell people, you know, because one thing I find when a woman wants to be more visible, whether it's with her business, her service, or whatever, I always say to her, because I find that a lot of women come and they'll say, I'm sharing my stuff on Instagram, I'm posting every day, you know, and I'm only getting like 10 likes. Nobody's really engaging and things like that. And I ask the same question. I say, right, okay, let's say the person makes shoes and she's sharing her shoes on Instagram, looking for clients and things like that. So I say to her, okay, if you were contacted by, let's say, Harrods or Topshop, and they said that particular shoe that you posted on that page, that are you able to supply us with 500 pairs, these range of sizes by so and so date? I say, do you have that in place? Are you able to do that? And she will 9 times out of 10 say no. So I'm saying, while you're in the middle of pushing out your stuff for people to see, research into this, because all it takes is one company to turn around and say, can we have 500 pairs of that or 1,000 pairs of that? Can you supply all our stores in London with that product by so and so date? And you need to be able to do that, because sometimes we think I need to be visible, but we've only got a few things. No, you need to be thinking the way I want to be visible. If this thing now, if a supplier wants me in the States to be able to supply them by so and so date with X amount, am I ready? So those are things that you can be researching while you're putting your stuff out there. Because why have 100 people buy 10 pairs of shoes? So you're waiting for 100 people to contact you on social media when you can have one person say, you know what, why don't you supply me with 10,000 pairs of shoes? Be ready for that, because that now you're making yourself visible, but you don't know who's looking at your page. So it could be that one person that sees that product and thinks, right, this is a good product for us to stock. Let's contact this person and let's see if we can have this. So I say visibility is not just about putting your stuff out there. Visibility is about knowing that, right, the moment that one connect or two connects, say they want my stuff, do I have what it takes to be able to supply them within the time that they need it? So those are other things that you can be looking into and researching. And that's what I tell them. Look into those things, research, because don't assume because you're only getting 7 likes, people are not visiting your page. 1 out of that 7 likes could be your breakthrough. And that's it. That 1 out of those 7 likes can open that door for you. But if you're not ready, they'll go looking somewhere else. If I go into a shop and I say, oh, can I have that shoe in a size 6? And they say, oh, we don't have a size 6, but we might have some in next Wednesday. I'm going to another shop. Yeah. Because they didn't have my size and I might not be able to wait till next Wednesday. So I'm going to another shop. So what I'm saying is, if 1 out of that 7 says, can we have this? And you don't have it, they might shop somewhere else. They might not be able to wait for you to research and find out who can make X amount of pairs for you in a day and things like that. I know somebody that does printing, prints lots of T-shirts, lots of hoodies. And I said to him, oh, do you order your stuff from China because it's a lot cheaper? He said, no, he only orders from the UK where he knows he can get same day delivery. Because if he gets somebody that wants a big order and they need it by tomorrow or the day after, he needs to know he's got a supplier that can supply him today, that he can have it ready for tomorrow. So he said China takes too long to deliver for him. So that's my thing. Research, find out who, so that you know that, right, I can have this product ready by so-and-so day. That's the turnover, and I can have it ready because you have looked and you have searched for who can do it and make it available. So visibility, apart from putting yourself out there, there's a whole back end to it as well.
So it's about being ready and about thinking big and thinking outside the comfort zone and looking into the future, is it?
Yes, absolutely. Wow. Absolutely.
And what about the mindset?
Well, the mindset has to always be bigger than what you're thinking at the moment. If you're a coach and you say, right, I'm opening my coaching practice now and, I'm taking slots, let me start to put my services out there so people can start booking. Now, if you're one person doing that, how many people can you coach in a week, in a month, and doing regular sessions? But then if you're thinking, you know what, let me look for other coaches that are like me, and let's have something together. So if they do what I do, so right, if I get and I'm full up to capacity with my 10 clients, but people still want to come, I've got Anna here that does the same coaching. So I'm able to say, okay, when would you like to start? Right, Anna will be your coach. And then that's how I'm getting still more people, but I've expanded. So it's not just about me. So you always have to think ahead, because if you can only take to your capacity, you've limited yourself. But that's where working together and collaborations come in. Because if I have Anna here and I have Kate here and we're all coaching in the same way, if Most of them are coming through my direction. I can say, okay, let me book you in. And I'll be like, Anna, right, you've got a client. This is your client. Kate, you've got a client. This is your client. So I'm not turning anybody away. You don't want to be in the business where you turn people away. I don't know anybody that's in a business or providing a product service that wants to be turning people away because they're at full capacity. So you have to think that mindset of, now I have to think, okay, if I can only take 10 slots a month, what if I get 20 people coming through my door? Am I going to turn 10 away? You don't want to. So start thinking outside the box. That mindset has to be big. If what I'm doing is now times 10, how am I going to cope with that times 10? How am I going to be able to keep that times 10 without having to turn them away and know that it's still coming in? So you're thinking, right, collaborations, thinking, okay, let me make this thing bigger. I was thinking on this scale, but now I have to scale up. And that's how you do it. And that changes your whole mindset to thinking it's just you doing that thing. No, it's now us. It becomes an us thing. And there are many women out there that we can collaborate with and do things together. We're not alone. So we don't have to approach business like we're on our own. But a lot of us, I think we have that thing where we think we're in competition with each other, so we don't want to work together. No, there are women that are looking for women to work with. So if we join forces, we can actually do times 10 when we work together, as opposed to working on our own and just doing one.
Is thinking abundance, is thinking community, is thinking win, win, win. If you win, I win.
Yes.
If I win, you win.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my
yes.
God.
Let's grow together. Let's build together.
Will you marry me?
That's it. That's it.
Wow. Tola, when people want to get in contact with you, and I'm sure there will be many people wanting to get in contact with you, where do we send them to?
Well, I am on LinkedIn. I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. I am on Twitter. I'm everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yes, I am.
And you answer right away. I can testify that. Anything
Yes.
else you would like to share with our community?
Well, I have a motto, and my motto is, if nobody gives you a platform, create one. And that's why I said in the beginning, you can't come to me and say, oh, I can't do this, or I want to do that, but I'm never going to be able to do that. I'm like, no, if nobody gives you a platform, create one. I used to say to myself, when I listen to people, say, oh, so-and-so's on the cover of this magazine, so-and-so, and you look at them and you think, oh, you really want to be on the cover of a magazine, don't you? Well, create your own magazine and put yourself on the cover. That's what you do. That's what you do. And that's what I did. I've got my own Solid Woman magazine. I put myself on the cover because I couldn't find anyone else to put. I'm like, right. It's really that simple. It's really that easy. When people say, oh, I want my own clothing brand, create your own clothing brand. I did. It's that simple. Don't just sit there and think, oh, it's unachievable. I'm not saying you're going to be the Versace's or the Gucci's of this world, but you will create something that you will have a niche, and your niche will appreciate your brand. You will have something that people will see and think, oh, I like that. I want that. And that's how you do it.
Yeah.
So if no one gives you a platform, create one. That's what I say.
Beautiful. And we all have something, as you said before, that nobody else has, or nobody else knows, or nobody looks at in the same way as we do, because we are unique. All of us are unique.
Yes, absolutely.
Amen, sister. I love you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.